preaching on, Psalm 121. So we're going to read it together. So I want everyone to stand up and read it together. So can you do that with me? Can you stand and we're going to read this psalm together. It's going to come up on the screen. It's a wonderful psalm. And it's all to do with where we get our help from. So hopefully it's there. There we go. Okay, Psalm 121. Read with me. I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not let your foot be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. He who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade and your right hand. The sun will not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in, from this time on and forevermore. Amen. Great. I see. I hope sometimes it's good to stand up and read the Bible together, and definitely at this point of service, it's good to wake everyone up again. Okay, so it's all about where our help comes from. Our help comes from the Lord. And I wanted to start this morning, because we're all on that journey in life, we're all on a journey in following God at different stages, and thinking, where does our help come from? And sometimes in life, bad things and good things can happen to us. So we're going to have a look at some bad things and the good things first. So I need two strong helpers to help me. And I'm going to kind of choose you. So who wants help yet? Yeah, you come up with you? Yeah, you come. Yeah, great. Okay. Yeah, give them a round of applause. Come on, great. We're not going to quite what we're going to. Can I call them in a minute, Grace? Okay. Is that okay? Is that okay? Silly, sorry. Getting muddled up. We'll move this out of the way. There we go. Okay, guys. So one of you's going to hold that piece of string. The other one's going to hold that sword. Hold it there and there. And that's it. And then I want you to walk sort of back here. And we're going to stretch it out like a washing line. That's it. That's beautiful. That's okay. Dilly, do you want to come up now? That's great. Okay. So, we're going to put on this end, if you can help me hang some things up. This is like mum's doing the washing, but it's not, with dads as well, and I do the washing at home. I just want to say, don't pull off your heads there. That's not the paperwork we want to do today. I'm just going to hold that tight as well, that's great. Just hold that nice and tight, that's it. That's it. Bless you. There we go. So, Dilly, can you put on this end good things that can happen? Put that right on over on that end, that's it. And on that end, we're going to put the bad things that can happen to us. That's it. That's brilliant. Yeah, keep it tight. That's it. That's why you've got to be strong. Okay, guys. So I'm going to read out some things now, and I'm going to ask some of you guys to come up and help me put them on. Okay. So thank you, that's great. Okay. So some of these are quite easy to think through. So we've got on one side good things that can happen to us in life, and we've got on the other side bad things that can happen for us. So here's the first one. We go out for our favourite food. That sounds like a pretty good thing. Who wants to put that on? Just put it anywhere you want along this line. Who likes to go out for your favourite food? Maybe a McDonald's burger, something unhealthy normally. Go on, Nathan. You can put that. Where do you think that goes? Okay, that sounds like a pretty good thing to me. Okay, I lose my favourite toy. Or maybe your favourite game. Yeah, go on, you put it on. Where does that go? Oh, here's a good one. Yeah, I think that goes over here somewhere. That's a bad thing, isn't it? Losing your favourite toy. Okay. It's my birthday. Oh! Yeah. Go on then. Is it? Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Katie. I get sick. Oh, that's not a good one, is it? Okay. Who's not been? You've not been yet, have you? Okay. Yeah, it's going over there. I get a bad mark on my schoolwork. Oh, not so good. Yeah. There we go, Dilly. You want to do that one? I win a prize. Oh, that's a good one. Anyone over here, by the way? Do you want to do one, Freya? There you go, I win a prize. Is that a good one or a bad one? These all up along here. That's it. Oh, hold it tight, Dexter. Hold it tight. There we go. You've got to have a bit of entertainment today. There you go. I fall out with a friend. Yeah, go on then. Go on, Hudson. Okay, a couple more. We've got a few more. I go on holiday. So stick that one up. Yeah. You can do that one. Okay. Anyone else over here want to do one? I ran out of money. That's not a good one, is it? Okay. I ran out of money. I'm going to hand these out really quickly. My favourite TV show stopped being shown on TV. Oh, imagine when it's not. Oh, yeah. Yeah, go on, Ada. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? If your favourite TV show stopped. Maybe not a popular one with the parents today, but I get a new pet. Ooh, that's exciting, isn't it? That's a terrible one. Okay, maybe a hard one. I get bullied at school or maybe at work. We can get bullied at work as well sometimes. Anybody else? Do you want to do one? No, that's okay. Freddie, get on, Freddie, sorry. Okay, this might be a good one for a few people in here. It could be a bad one for one or two as well. Wolves win a game against West Bromwich Albion. Is that a good one or a bad one? Who wants to put that one up? Have we got any Wolves fans in here? I don't think we do, you know. Okay. There we go. So, that's our kind of journey of life. We've got good things and bad things that can happen to us. But where do we go when bad things happen to us, and what happens when good things happen to us? That's not a good thing for William. That's great. Give them a round of applause, everybody. I'm going to get you guys up in a bit. Brilliant. Yeah, we can take them off for now. That's great. Okay, leave a string. I'll get you up again in a bit, guys. Brilliant. Okay. I'll have a bit of organised chaos on the stage. Come on. Great. So life is full of hills, ups and downs. We can go through hills and valleys in our life. And that's what this psalm is all about. Verse 1. I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? Life is full of hills. What hills are we looking at in our life? Now, where do we go for our help? In that time, when they're writing this psalm, there are lots of different this is a psalm of ascent. So that means that as the Israelites were walking towards Jerusalem to worship, they would have been singing this out. And we're gonna say it again at the end of the service today and do it similar to how they would have done it. And as they were walking around them, they would often walk sort of in a desert area. And there would have been hills or mountains all around them. And often in this culture, other people lived in these other areas. And these other cultures believe that different gods were on different mountains. And they would go to certain different gods for what they needed. So if something bad happened, say if they were struggling with their harvest, maybe the crops were failing, they would go and pray to a god and pray for the rains to come. Maybe if the crops were dying from the sun, they would go and pray to the god of the sun and do that. Maybe they were struggling to have a child or something like that. They would go and pray to a fertility god. There was all these different gods on all these different mountains, and they would go. So when he's saying, I lift up my eyes to the hills or the mountains, where does my help come from? There's this question about where am I looking for my help? Am I looking to these gods around me in my culture, or am I looking to our God? Where are we looking for our help to come from? So what gets us through when life gets out of control? So we've got another one again. If I can get the guys back up, William and Dexter, you want to come up? There you go. Let's hold that string nice and tight this time. Let's see if we can do better. Come on. Maybe don't hold the spool, just hold it there. That's it. Beautiful. And look, we could do a limbo under there now. Great. Okay, so I've got 2 different lists now. So I'm going to put some on here, and then I'm going to ask you where each one goes. So we've got a first aid kit. There we go. A teacher. Okay. Got a few teachers in here today. Yeah, all wise. Firefighters. Ooh. Got police. Okay. We got a hug, maybe from a mum or a dad or a grandparent. A hug. Mother-in-law. We've got a rubber. Okay. That can be helpful sometimes, I'm sure, a rubber. And the last one here, we've got the vets. There we go. So, very expensive sometimes, yeah. So, okay, here's my first one today. Great. So, where are you going to get the help from? There's a fire! Where are we going to get the help from? Okay. Go and see if you can match that one up. Okay. Where's that going? That's going on firefighter. Yeah! We're getting bullied at school. Where are we going to get that one? Yeah. Yeah, we go to our teacher, don't we? Very good. Well done. We cut our finger. Ouch! Ouch! Hudson, go on. Can you do that one? Can you see where we get that? Where do we get our help from there? That's it, you got it? Good job. Yeah, good job. Our pet is sick. Our cat or dog gets a bit poorly. Where are we going to go for help? Here, go on, Olivia. I'm going to come over this side. We made a mistake on our homework. Ooh, where are we going to go for help? We made a mistake on our homework. Yeah, go on then. Where are we going to go to get help? We're going to use a rubber. Good job, Chelsea. Something is stolen. Oh, where are we going to go? Yeah. And here's the last one. We're feeling a bit sad. We're feeling a bit sad. Yeah, go to the vets. There we go. There we go. So there are all these different... Yeah, give me a round of applause. Well done, everybody. We did it right. Come on, that's great. Well done, guys. You can put that down now. Good job, very strong. Give them a big round of applause. We've got more paper on the stage now. That's fantastic. Great. So, when we're kids often, we'll go to our mums or dads, won't we? And at Mother's Day, it's an important thing to remember sometimes that the first place we'll go to is those who are closest to us, don't we? But when we get to be an adult, we can often turn to other things, can't we, for our help? Sometimes we turn to organising everything. If life feels a bit chaotic, we turn to, I just need to organise things in my life. I need to organise my world because then I feel secure in that organisation. You know, I put the dishes away, I tidy all the house, the washing, I tidy my desk or my email inbox, and when I've done that, I feel secured and safe. Maybe we can turn to a drink, adult grape juice, basically. You know what I'm talking about. We can turn to a drink. And because we know that when we turn to that, we can kind of escape a little bit. Maybe we turn to money. That figure on our bank statement is actually where we get our security from. Actually, when that figure's in a good amount, then we're okay. Or maybe we just sort of escape into books or TV program or gaming. We can sort of feel secure because we sort of live in a different world for a bit and we can feel safe somewhere else. So there are other things in our adult world as well. That, there are things in our kids' world, but there's also things in our worlds that we can turn to at times in our life. So we need to ask ourselves where we get help from when life gets out of control. And that's where the next part of the psalm comes in. Verse 2, my help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. We are called to look to our Creator. Now, here the psalmist is reminding us that God is bigger than everything because he created it all anyway. God is bigger than it all because he created it all. So we can turn to him for anything. He created everything. So whatever life throws us at, the bad things that we looked at earlier, he can help us out in those things. He's at the only place we can get our true help from. And you know what? He goes on to say, he's not a distant creator. Verse 3 says this, he won't let your foot be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. He won't let you trip up. I love that. In the NIV, I think it says he won't let your foot slip, doesn't it? And whenever I read that, I was thinking about this. And now you guys will love this because this is a bit manky. This is what I had for my breakfast this morning. What's this in here? Does anyone know what that is? It's a nana. Does that look yummy? No, that looks pretty disgusting. Does anyone want it? No. That looks pretty bad, doesn't it? Now, has anybody seen the cartoons where what happens when Nana's on the floor and someone comes walking along, and what happens if I stepped on that banana? Yeah, you slip over, don't you? You slip over, yeah. It's just like that, yeah. You slip over, fall on the ground. And you know what the psalmist is saying here? That as we walk in life, as we go on this journey, the nana skins we come across, the things that could trip us up, actually, God will cause us to keep our foot steadfast. We're not going to slip up. Our feet will not be moved. Our feet will not be moved. So things that can trip us up, we looked at some of the stuff earlier. Money can trip us up. What happens when we run out of money? Well, the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, it says, doesn't it? It can trip us up in lots of different ways if we trust on it for our journey. Maybe relying on a drink. It can feel innocent at the time, but soon enough, one glass isn't enough. And if you get into that habit, then it can lead to all sorts of things. Kidney failure, obviously, is the last thing. Relying on organising everything. Well, when things don't go to plan, that's the thing with planners. Well, Emma's a planner. She loves a good plan and organising, but when things don't go to plan, she's actually pretty good. I think I've rubbed off on her a bit. When things don't go to plan, when things don't go to plan for planners, then it can be a bit of a crisis moment. So we can't just rely on being organised or relying on kind of TV or escaping into these different things. We get bored of it eventually and move on to something else. And ultimately, escaping reality in books and stuff only means that other problems can get worse and worse. So that's where the next verse comes in. God is with you. Verse 5 and 6, it says this, the Lord is your keeper, or another version says, he watches over you. The Lord is the shade at your right hand, and the sun will not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. I love that picture that the Lord is at our right hand. He is the shade at your right hand. Like when a problem's facing us like a bright light, he comes and shades us and guards us and protects us from it. He helps us in those moments. We talk about Jesus as our Emmanuel. He is God with us. He's the one who comes alongside us and helps us by his Spirit. He comes to help us when we fail or when we succeed. He's always there. He is consistent. He is with us. So whether we choose to follow him or whether we're doubting his even existence here today, he's with you today. He's omnipresent. That's the word. He's with us everywhere we go. He is our keeper. He watches over you. The next verse is this. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time on and forevermore. And this is interesting. This is a tension here. Because on one side, you've got bad things happening to us. And the other side, we've got like his protective care for us, his help to us. And where does the message of the gospel, where does Jesus fit in with that? When we follow God, do bad things stop happening to us? Well, no, they don't, do they? We all know bad things can still happen to Christians, can't they? They can still happen to us. But Jesus is with us in those things. Jesus said this. This is one of those promises that Jesus says that we don't like to talk about a lot. Luke 21, verse 16 to 19. You will be betrayed even by parents, brothers, sisters, relatives, and friends, and they will put some of you to death. He's talking to the Christians. Everyone will hate you because of me, but not a hair on your head will perish. Stand firm, and you will win life. Can you see the tension there? That he's saying that some of you are going to die, but not a hair of your head will perish. There's a tension there, isn't there? Like, how do we deal with that? He's saying, stand firm, and you will win life. And I think the key part of that verse is, Johnny, if you can just grab that table for me. I've got my beautiful assistant today. Give him a round of applause. Come on. Yeah, just in the middle there. That's great. And then if you can put that on there as well, without the lid on. That's it. We've got. That's great. So I've got some water here. There we go. We'll take the lid off. I've got some water here, and I'm going to try and illustrate something now. When we're going on life, it can be a bit like a ship on a sea. Now I haven't got a ship, but I have got a plastic ship there. That's my ship today, and that's floating on top of the sea. And I've even got some Lego sailors to sail it. Look at that. Who likes Lego here? Got a few people who like Lego, yeah? William, you'll know those, won't you? Yeah. What are they?
Mandalorian, and Mandalorian.
Yeah. 3 Lego Mandalorians. Very good. Well done, William. There you go. They're going to be our sailors today. Now, in life, bad things can happen to us. And that can be like the sea, just like waves coming along. But we can stay afloat. But what God's saying here, what these verses are saying here, is that if we stand firm, we will win life. So it's about the inward journey, about our hearts. Eugene Peterson said this: all the water in the oceans cannot sink a ship unless it gets inside, nor can all the trouble in the world harm us unless it gets within us. So bad things can happen to us, but actually God can help us manage what's inside us. That's what it's addressing. It's about the heart. And we need to think through today. Maybe some of us need to be responsible for checking our own hearts, where we at today, in the bad stuff we're going through, what's happening in our hearts today. Because if we let the water into the ship, does anyone want to help me let some water into the ship? Yeah, come on, Nathan, you can help me. We're going to let some water in the ship. What happens when we start? So just grab that side of the box, and we're just going to wobble it to and fro. And there might be some water that gets in. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. There we go. Oh. And the ship sunk. Good job, Nathan. There we go. What happens when we let the bad situations get into our hearts? Well, actually, we end up sinking, and it gets out of control. But where does our help come from? Our help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. And we need to declare that in these moments, so the bad things that happen don't become evil in our hearts. That verse again, verse 7, the Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. It's about the evil getting into our hearts. Bad things can happen to us, but we've got to stop the evil from getting into our hearts in these moments. Does that make sense? So, finally, we need to lift up our eyes to a different hill in those moments. And that hill, I've been there out in Israel, in Jerusalem, and there's a hill called Golgotha, where they think the cross was. And it's where Jesus was hung, was nailed on the cross. It says this in Matthew 27. They came to a place called Golgotha, which means the place of the skull. They offered Jesus to drink wine mixed with gall, but after tasting it, he refused to drink it. When they had crucified him, they divided up his clothes by casting lots, and sitting down, they kept watch over him. Above his head, they placed a written charge against him. This is Jesus, the King of the Jews. In that moment, on that hill, on that cross, Jesus took on all evil so we wouldn't have to. He managed it within himself. He bore the weight of all evil, all sin and all death on himself. And then he rose again. That's what we can remember Easter Sunday. He rose again victorious over it. So when we look to that hill where Jesus was died and his resurrection, we can know that as we come alongside him, he will help us get through that bad situation, and the evil doesn't have to get into our hearts. So we're going to respond to that today. And we're going to respond in the way the Psalm of Ascent would have been sung. We're not going to sing it, but we're going to say it out. So the first two verses are in first person pronouns, I and my. So one person, the leader, would have said the first two verses, and then the verses 3 to 8 are said with the second person pronouns, you and your. So I'm going to get the kids to lead us actually today. Are you ready for that, tribe? Are you okay to lead us? Maybe Jordan can help with that. We're going to say together the first two verses, and then all the adults are then going to respond to the tribe today. And Jordan, just grab a microphone so you can help lead them actually off Charlotte. That'd be great. All the adults are going to then read verse 3 to 8, and we're going to respond and say it together. And as we do that, we're going to check our hearts and actually say, God, as bad things happen, I'm going to look to a hill where you won the victory over all sin, death, all evil, and not allow that evil to get into my heart today. Is that good? We got that? Great. Okay, let's do it. So verse 1 and verse 2. Are we ready, guys? Let's stand up for this. Are you ready, tribe? Oh, we need it up on the screen. That's it, we got it. Okay, great. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from?
My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth.
And then we're going to respond, church, with the next slide. He will not let your foot be moved. He who keeps will not slumber. He who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time on and forevermore. Amen. Great. We need to be saying that to one another in our journeys, right? We have to say, when I say, where does my help come from? We need to say, your help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. But great, well done today, everyone.